Another condition you might run into, especially if you have a single tank electric water heater, is no hot water in the summer at all. And that generally indicates that the solar's not working because the sun's out, should be heating. What you would see is basically you see this 93, you won't see this working. I will, just to speed up the process here, I'm going to heat up the the tank sensor, which we're going to go down here, 82, 84. There, the system's not working. So what you'll generally see is, if nothing's working, the solar's not working, is when you do T1, you might see an error, like a short or a break, or you might see a very high temperature, plus 200 degrees. And then when you come down to the tank, T3 well, T2 won't be like that, but it'll cool down. T3 and T2 will be low. So that means you have, the solar's not working. And also, with a single tank system, in concert with that is the element, the primary 240 volt heating element in that single tank electric system is not working either. It's not getting power. Could be as simple as the breaker being turned off and somebody forgetting to turn the breaker on. That's at the main service panel. It could be you have a time clock between the tank and the service, the main panel, a gray time clock that's turned off, or the time's been changed because of power outages. It's just not kept time. So the switch inside the timer is turned off when it should be turned on. So reset the clock and turn the switch on, and you should have hot water within an hour if that's the only problem. Going toward the water heater now, if there's power getting to the single tank water heater, electric solar water heater, but there's no hot water, then it could be the thermostat. There is a high temperature cutoff switch inside the water heater cover. Again, follow the use and care manual. When doing any work inside there, you turn off the 240 volt power if you get to that point. That's really an electrician, plumber, or solar installer project, unless you are one. It could be the thermostat is not working or the element's burned out. So those two items can be checked by a qualified technician and replaced if necessary. Again, this controller, it doesn't have any effect on those electrical primary systems on a single tank system, nor on a gas water heater or tank or tankless gas water heating system. It has no control over those. Where you would see the problem in the summer is that the pump's not working, the pump's unplugged, we've had that. The control's unplugged, you got to plug it back in. The fuse is out in the controller itself, in this controller. But the tank temperature, which would be T3 and T2, would be low. It would be if nothing was working, it would just be the same temperature, darn close to the cold water that's coming out your faucet. So that's a solar issue in the summer, and a heating issue with a single tank electric water heater. But sometimes people turn those off. They turn the elements off because the solar can do the entire job for you, and they forget to turn them on. Let's say you have a monsoon come in for 2 weeks. It's really cooler and no sun, and they call their installer and say, oh, my water's not as hot. Well, that's because it was hot for 2 months before. The clouds came in for a week and the temperature dropped and the element didn't work. So you've got to I forgot, I have to go turn the breaker back on, everything's good, or the timer. The little gray box is common. It's an intermatic, kind of like a pool timer if you've ever had a swimming pool. Turn that back on, you'll have hot water. And it will, once the tank heats, it If you have this sensor, the T3 sensor installed, you will see that go up. Sometimes you have to open a hot water faucet a little bit to have the water pass by the sensor, which could be on the outlet to the tank, and then it goes up, and then you know you have hot water. So that's the benefit of having this T3 sensor, is it tells you that you have hot water in the tank at the top, that's where it usually is. Obviously at the end of the day, if everything's working, and in the morning there's still hot water because heat rises. The bottom, you go to T2, it might be 50 degrees and you're going, oh, I have no hot water. But you do. You have it up here at T3. Thank you.